D16 Group's Nithonat is a fully synthesized recreation of the Roland TR-606 analog drum machine, made famous early on by its affordability and ease of use, and later by its inherent ability of sounding great when distorted or heavily compressed. Everything from the original sound circuit to the sequencing engine was modeled after the 606 to give you an amazing sound and a familiar interface to work with. You'll even find some enhancements that add to the playability of this instrument without taking away of any of the original's old school vibe. Fans of the original 606 will notice a familiar interface. Above, we have all 7 of the 606's original sounds. They each have their own individual volume control, and even some features that weren't available on the original, like the ability to tune each individual drum's pitch and change its attack, decay, and other sound qualities. The original 606 had a single mono output, but with Nithonat, you have 8 assignable outputs, which you can assign individual drums or groups of drums to different plugin outputs. This lets you process each drum sound individually and give you even more control over the 606 sound. Down below, we have the sequencer section. When you first launch Nithonat, it opens in native mode and behaves exactly like the original 606. You can start and stop playback of a drum pattern, and also choose one of 96 programmable patterns by selecting a bank, then a pattern within that bank. The sequencer can even be synced to your DAW's host tempo by disabling the internal sync button. You can edit your beats in pattern write mode. Select an instrument that you would like to program a pattern for by using the instrument selector, then use the buttons in the sequencer below to insert your drum pattern. Another unique enhancement in Nithonat that's not available on the original 606 is the ability to create a random drum pattern. So if you find yourself needing inspiration for a beat, you can select a drum, enable the randomizer, then use the previous and next buttons to toggle between random patterns. You'll find that if you use MIDI with Nithonat, you can get even more control over your drum beats and patterns. Enable host mode, and this will give your DAW full control over Nithonat's patterns and sounds. With the internal sequencer selected, you can use individual MIDI notes to activate the built-in drum patterns within the sequencer. By disabling the internal sequencer, you can create your own MIDI patterns within your DAW. Using MIDI control in Nithonat is a snap. Just enter MIDI learn mode, move one of the dials on the interface, then move one of the controls on your MIDI controller, and it's automatically assigned. So be sure to check out D16 Group's Nithonat. It's an affordable, new school plugin with an old school vibe that you'll definitely need to add to your collection.